You're in the rant wormhole, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one by being one. This one's for Vergstrom, who says, rant about Satoshi Kon. Which of his works is your favorite and why? Do you remember how you first discovered him and what you thought at the time? I found out about Satoshi Kon back in the early 2000s when I first was getting big into anime, because my cousin Boyd was doing a lot of research on anime, and we generally tended to try to watch anything that was getting like highly praised in magazines or, you know, in critical circles and stuff. So he had bought Perfect Blue at some point, and I had to cover my eyes for a lot of that movie because, like, it's very adult. It has lots of explicit sex and violence that I was afraid of, you know, at the tender age of 13. It's a psychological thriller. I also kind of didn't get it because it's, you know, it's pretty fucking headfucky. So, but I recognized it as something that was important and, like, that people were, you know, that people seemed to care about a lot. So, like, I knew the name Satoshi Kon even if I didn't necessarily care that much about the movie. But not long after that, Adult Swim started airing Paranoia Agent, and I fucking loved Paranoia Agent. Probably was like 14 when that was 13 or 14 when that started airing, and yeah, I thought it was awesome. So, you know, from that point forward, I was kind of a fan. I eventually watched Millennium Actress, and I loved that movie. You know, I mean, I don't really think I need to go into too much detail about Satoshi Kon because he is a fairly well-covered director. You know, if you want to know more about, for instance, his visual directing, watch the Every Frame a Painting video about him. That's really great. You know, Millennium Actress was just the conceit of how it is handled is very interesting, where it's like telling an actress's life story by way of the movies that she acted in as like metaphors for her life. It's very cool. Later, I would get to see Tokyo Godfathers. I really enjoyed that one. I think I watched that as my 700th completed anime. That was when I started my tradition of every time I reach another 100, I try to watch some kind of classic film I haven't gotten around to yet. And the last one I watched was Paprika, which I was not a big fan of. I don't care for the visual aesthetic of that movie. I think I don't like the color palette. I don't like the design sense that much. I think it feels weirdly kind of stiff in its animation. The plot didn't grab me, and I felt like it was too long. So I think I might have talked about it in a 2 weeks review or something. I'd have to watch it again to really give you more in-depth thoughts. Like, I've seen Millennium Actress twice, Perfect Blue a bunch. I talked about Perfect Blue extensively in a video that May and I did, the Ota Cave Expedition. I think episode 2. I don't know, we only did 2 episodes, so it's one or the other. But, yeah, so, I definitely wish that... Oh, and I've also seen, you know, he wrote Magnetic Rose for the Memories compilation, which is also cool. Trying to think if he did JoJo episodes 5 and 6, I think, from the original OVA, or from the part 3 OVA rather. Those are pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, generally, like, of course, Satoshi Kon is great. Like, there's never been somebody who has the same style as him in anime. He was a very unique voice. It's insanely unfortunate that we lost him so fucking young. He was only like 48, and he was in the middle of working on another movie, you know, like, fucking, the greatest tragedy of all time is Masao Maruyama spending a decade desperately trying to find a director to fill his shoes to finish the fucking Dreaming Machine and not being able to. You know, a man twice his age trying to continue his fucking legacy as best he can before he dies of natural causes, you know? It's, I remember fucking when Satoshi Kon died, I read his, like, final statement and fucking lost it crying. So, man, yeah, it's always gonna be one of the, probably it's the greatest loss in anime history, is losing him so young and not getting to see Satoshi Kon make as many films as Hayao Miyazaki did, you know? But, you know, what he's got is a fairly impeccable catalog that I think anyone would recommend checking out all of his work, which you can binge in like a day, because it's almost all movies. So, you know, get to it if you haven't.